The sun is going down, but you're clocking in. Here's some things that only Night Shift will understand. Welcome to Paranormal Nightshift, your home for all things that go bump in the night. For some of us, our furry friends are more family than our actual family. Dog people and cat people, it truly is a bond that is hard to explain to most people. But can that bond you share be taken to the beyond? Karen writes in, I learned at a young age that I couldn't have kids. Never seemed to be a problem, but the fact that he is my ex-husband means that it was a problem for someone. We got divorced, and surely enough, he went and found someone else, and now they have a lovely family. I didn't think it bothered me that much, but seeing pictures of them on Facebook just drove me crazy. I knew I needed some sort of companionship. All my friends were telling me that I needed to go get a cat, but I didn't want to be a crazy cat lady. But I took their advice. I went to the local shelter and I found this beautiful cat, and I took him home. Whiskers was his name, and that hole that I felt in my soul was filled with joy. It was somebody who needed me. Well, something. And we took care of each other. He gave me the companionship that I needed, and of course I fed and took care of him. We went everywhere together, played with toys, and all of a sudden it just felt normal again. I was always a homebody, and Whiskers made my house feel like a home. But then he got sick, very quickly. I took him to the vet, and they said, unfortunately, there's nothing we can do. I know it's a cliche, who rescued who, but he really did save me from a very dark place. And unfortunately, now I was in a position to where I had to make a decision for his well-being. We put him down, unfortunately, and it broke my heart. I didn't know what to do. I buried him in a small garden in the backyard, and I would find myself going out there and just sitting by him, reading books, just talking to him as if he was still around. I know by now some of you guys are telling me I should have just gotten another cat, but it just wasn't the same. I planted a rose bush on top where we buried him, but the bush would never actually plume roses. That was until a couple months ago. I openly will admit that I've always suffered with depression, and after losing my husband and Whiskers, I fell into a very dark place. I had made a decision that I didn't want to be here anymore, that I didn't want to go on. Not because of the cat, just because of everything. Nothing seemed to be going right for me, and I got in a very dark place. I was going to do it out there in the garden. As I prepared myself to do the unthinkable, I started hearing meowing coming from the tree line of my property. It got louder and louder, and it sounded just the way that Whiskers used to meow. And then a cat came out from the tree line, and it looked just like Whiskers. Same fur, same loving and caring eyes. And that cat came and sat next to me and just stared at me. Every time I tried to shoo it away, it wouldn't go anywhere. It'd just sit there with me, just like Whiskers used to. I swear it was the same cat. But I know it couldn't be, because I was sitting on Whiskers' grave. There's no way it could be the same cat, but it was. It looked just like my cat. And somehow the cat knew what I was going to do, and it just sat there with me, just like Whiskers would have. Rightfully shaken about the whole conversation and everything that had been going on in my head, I decided that I just needed to go inside. I just needed to relax. Nothing felt right. I wasn't in the right headspace, and I just needed to relax. Depression is horrible, because you have manic moments of that, like I did the day before, and then I woke up the next morning feeling wonderful, mad at myself that I even thought that way. I guess it was all just crazy. I walked outside to see if I could maybe find the cat again. Maybe I would invite this cat into my home. And I walked next to the rose bush that had never had flowers on it. But right there on the rose bush, for the first time since I lost my cat, there it was, the tiniest little rosebud. I know it sounds foolish to think, but maybe it was Whiskers' way of telling me that I am enough, and that he is still with me. That was months ago. Never saw the cat again, but I've never been in that dark of a place. I feel like somehow from beyond the grave, the cat that saved me in my darkest hours saved me again. If you have a paranormal story, please send it in to paranormalnightshift.com.